and you just feel violated. And you're violated not by a person, it's just that everything you have, it's just been destroyed. Stuff that you worked for, destroyed.
And our job is to go to the scene and to take you to the newsworthy event so that you can see what's going on. But as your neighbors, sometimes the news hits us as well. That takes us to early June 2008. Severe weather led to record-breaking river flooding throughout the entire viewing area. And as we began to cover the damage and the recovery, WISH TV staffers soon realized that some of our own had been deeply impacted, and it was now time to come together.
Historic floods hit Hoosiers hard. Major roads closed, neighborhoods evacuated, and many people now thinking about recovery. By air and land, we have team coverage. It happened early Saturday evening. Chopper 8 got these pictures of authorities evacuating patients out of Columbus Regional Hospital.
I happened to be out of town coming back. I got close enough that I couldn't get to my house. Everything was shut down.
If you've seen WISH TV tents at events in Indianapolis, that's Allan, our station events manager and the managing editor of our All Indiana Podcast Network. Allan has spent over 20 years repping the station well around the city.
The day before, we had tons of rain. My family, my wife, myself, and my daughter, youngest daughter, we were halfway to Florida.
And if you've ever seen WISH TV live from far-flung places, chances are that was John Kocur running our satellite truck. In 2008, John and Allan both called Columbus home.
Authorities say high water from nearby Hall Creek flooded the basement and threatened the first floor. It also reportedly flooded several bridges in the area, including the 17th Street Bridge near the hospital.
We had a torrential rainfall, I believe, in the last 24 hours, 9 inches plus. All the low-lying areas are being flooded. We had subdivisions and homes literally underwater.
I get this phone call, and it was the elderly neighbor, and she says, "John, we're having," click, nothing else. No, even a click. It was like a fade out.
Both WISH staffers lived on either side of Hall Creek. The irony of the name wasn't lost on Allan.
HAW, not named after me. There were commands that they used, G and HAW. So G is, turn it to one side, HAW is turn it to the other, so left and right. It was not funny then. You either laugh or you cry, and it's done, so what good does crying do?
Both dodged street closures.
I'm sorry. I've worked in the news business too long to know that if there's a will, I'm going to get in there. And that was probably a bad attitude on my part, but I didn't cross any flooded roads.
And made it to their houses. Allan had about 2 feet of water throughout. John saw the water starting to fill up his basement. He grabbed his wife's guitars and vowed to return in the morning.
When we got there, and it was 6 feet of water in the basement, and I thought, oh, drats. Had I only started yesterday doing this, I could have saved some more stuff.
I had played mandolin a little bit, and I'd learned on my father's mandolin that he had learned on when he was a kid, and it was unretrievable. It could not be saved. And you see, the aerial shots that were taken and things going on all over the rest of southern Indiana, really. I mean, not just Columbus, Franklin, Edinburgh, Princess Lakes. All the extent of that, you got to go, holy cow. It was bad for me, but it was worse for other people.
As you can see just behind us here, piles of rubble lined up along the streets and people, flood victims trying to dry out whatever they can.
FEMA officials are in the process of assessing the damage in the 29 Indiana counties the president has declared disaster areas.
The creek is a good 50 yards from these homes, and to give you an idea of how high the water got, the watermark on this garage is over my head. It's over 6 feet high.
Yeah, things were just things. But in that moment, the idea of rebuilding, cleaning up, trying to replace what was lost as much as possible, just felt overwhelming.
Among the cleanup chaos, acts of kindness, neighbors helping neighbors, leaning on one of the few things they all have left, each other.
When you work in television, you spend a lot of hours with the people that you work with, right? And they're like family.
I just love her like a sister.
And so you will do whatever you can to help family.
She is such a strong, powerful woman. I have the highest regard for her.
I just knew that he needed help, and I was going to be there to help him because he was always here to help support me in whatever project we were doing, and he's just a great guy. He's a stand-up guy. So,
unbeknownst to me, they came down and said, "What needs to be done?"
There was a crew from WISH that came down and helped just tear things out, carry it all out to the curb. There were piles and piles of stuff.
We all went down and helped him with some of the manual labor water is the worst. Oh, it's horrible, it's horrible. So it was Allan, and it was a tribute and a testament to Allan, who is just a super guy, super employee, would do anything for anybody and still does.
And it was probably 3 weeks before I came back to the station.
He was still trying to come back too early as far as I'm concerned, because Allan has this work ethic that's just off the charts.
And that, you were asking before about what was my highlight of my career. I think that was the highlight of my life, is having family help us, and friends. We still talk about it. It was that powerful of an impact.
I'm eternally grateful for what people have done around here. I mean, for that, for other times when tragedy has struck in my life, my WISH family has been there.
WISH TV held a telethon in our building to help raise funds for the recovery of all who were affected by the floods. Tina Cosby, who we heard from, said that one woman actually showed up at our doors with $2. But she wanted to make sure that she was able to help fellow Hoosiers who'd lost everything. She said that's all she had. That, Tina said, was a testament to humanity. If you'd like to see more of the devastating floods that also hit Martinsville and in Morgan County, just scan the QR code on your screen. That'll take you to wishtv.com.